crazy. Well, thank you. I
Tell me your name, cause I've been
For
looking
more music,
everywhere for you,
check
go
out our
insane.
Spotify and YouTube
And I
playlists.
keep wondering if
Enjoy.
I will ever see you again. Cause baby, I think I'm falling for your love, but you know that I don't wanna fall for nothing. And I rang every doorbell, hoping you let me in. These streets it won't be over till you be in my. And I rang every doorbell, hoping you let me in. These streets it won't be over till you be in my. And I rang every doorbell, hoping you let me in. These streets it won't be over till you be in my. And I remember thinking to myself, will you be mine? Tried to, but I was overwhelmed. Will you be mine? So I left my number at the bar for you. Transparent, ready for it. As I'm sweating up like glass on lane for your love, but you know that I don't wanna fall for nothing. And I rang everyone, B.O. doorbell, when you let me in the streets, you won't be over till you be in mine. And I rang every doorbell, when you let me in the streets, you won't be over till you be in mine. And I remember thinking to myself, will you be mine? Tried to, but I was overwhelmed. Will you be mine? So I left my number at the bar for you to call me. Be mine, be mine. Will
What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Let me set up everything. If you guys can hear me, just drop a 1 in the chat so I know my mic's working. Perfect. Alrighty, let's get this show started, man. So it's Tuesday. I'm not. If you guys know me, I'm not never in a rush to get into trades. All right, Mondays suck for me. Sundays are even worse. Tuesdays are so-so. Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays are my money days. All right. We're gonna go over some stuff, and we'll see. We'll see what the market's doing. I've got some stuff on my radar, and I'm actually currently in a trade. So we'll kind of go over that and go over why the confirmations were present, why I took this trade. And if you guys have any questions, we'll try to answer them. All righty. Let me do this real quick. Let me just move this over here. All right, perfect. And let's get it going. So news-wise, right? I mean, like I was looking at it. We're just gonna have some US dollar news and some NZD news at the end of the week. That's pretty much it. I mean, I don't know what's going on with the pound. All of you guys that live in the UK, I mean, damn. Brexit's on one day, it's off the other, it's on the other, it's off the other. I mean, I really wish somebody would make up their mind what Brexit's doing so I can trade some pound pairs. But until we figure out what Brexit's going to do, I don't know. I can't trade US dollar pairs because the dollar apparently doesn't know where the bottom is, and I can't trade pound pairs because apparently Brexit doesn't know what's happening. So, Chef JPY, it is, yeah, exactly. So trade US 30. Don't get me started on US 30. I had a pretty decent setup on US 30 that apparently no one told the Dow to come back and pick me up. So we'll go into it. All right. I will talk about this. So going towards mindset. You'll pass. Yeah, I got you, bro. I got you. No worries, man. I'll talk about this. So I took a Euro USD sale this morning, and I knew better against it. It was counter trend, but I took it anyway. It was a decent little scalp. If you look at it, right, it was just a liquidity run, right? We had an IC candle that took liquidity. And what I was doing was I wanted to play into our 1 minute candle, which was right here. All right. This 1 minute candle, I just wanted to play into it and potentially just get it down into this lower low. I had a really nice reaction. It was a 2.3 pip stop. Price did go, I got wicked into it. Price did go 16 pips. So at one point I was like 8-1 on it. You could see we had a break of structure that confirms for me that time to go to break even, right? Risk free. I don't care what happens. I went about my day. I came back and I saw that it ended up taking me out at break even. So I have my little crown because I'm the break even king. Apparently these in the month of December, I'm the break even king. So I'm going to put it up there. I journaled it. It is what it is. At the end of the day, especially for those of you guys in our Discord, break evens, I don't care about. For me, I'm not losing money. I don't mind. At the end of the day, I'm going to catch that 1-2 trades in a week or in 2 weeks that are going to run. All right. For those of you that were on the call last week and the week before, we talked about CAD JPY. I am still holding partials on a CAD JPY trade. I'm up like 300 and I think like 96 on it off of a 3.5 pip stop loss. So I'm not holding full volume, but yeah. And we'll talk about it. We'll look at CAD JPY. You guys should know where I'm taking CAD JPY to. It's that weekly candle. All right. All righty. So let's get into it. I know Victor's on the call. Me and Victor kind of have been looking at some stuff together. And, bro, if you got anything to add, just throw it in the chat. We'll go over it, man. All righty. The first thing I want to talk about is Euro odd, right? Actually, you know what? Hold on real quick. We'll talk about US 30 because someone brought this up and I'm a little sour about it, right? I'm a little sour. So U30, I put this out in our Discord this morning. I was looking for a buy. You can see we are, man, look at that. We reacted perfectly off of that, but we are slowly setting up for a monstrosity of a sell-off, right? You can just see how we are taking this trend line, but every leg is starting to compress smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until we're going to run out of room. And I'll tell you right now, when the sell off happens, get ready because we are going to be taking out all of this. And if you guys know where the imbalances are down there around like 26,000, I think that's where we're going. All righty. But anyway, U30 did give a really nice entry this morning. Yeah, 2,900 is your first target, Sam. Yeah. I got some bigger expectations, but essentially we traded into a point of interest that I was looking at down in here, and here's the schematic, man. I mean, it printed a nice accumulation schematic for us. The original entry I was looking at was off of these three candles right here, the 3-minute. I just needed the break of structure. So we came into a preliminary support, ended up building our schematic. We had our shakeout or our spring, and then we broke to the upside, broke structure, right? And all I wanted to do was come back and ideally just come into this 3-minute candle, right here. All right, I was going to play off of that. It was a 26 point stop loss, and then I was going to just run it up. Ultimately we didn't do it. We broke structure to the upside. So from that, my LPS entry I was looking at was this 2-minute candle right here. All right, I was looking at this 2-minute candle right here. This stop was 20, we'll call it 27 points. It was a 27-point stop. All right. And, I was targeting up into this area right here. All right. Where the last distribution was. And I mean, it would have been a nice little trade. Would have been a nice little like 10-1, but the market left without me. And it is what it is, was the higher time frame POI the one off the 15-minute. Yeah. It was. I shared my chart with Mike or you know what? No. I don't know if it was off bounce back, but I know if you were on Mike Navarette's section, yeah. It was the same one I shared this morning with Mike. Why didn't you take the leg that caused the break of structure? The leg that caused the break of structure. What are you talking about, bro? On U30? Yeah. Well, this would have been for me. I wanted the test, right? I wanted the test, and we just didn't get it. And then when this created the break of structure, right? Are you talking about you got in here, Mo? Yeah, no. By this time, like this was 12 o'clock. I was done trading. I don't like to get into I don't get into entries on US 30 at lunchtime. All right. That's just me. I don't like to get into them too late. If I'm not in by 11, I'm done. I'm done, and I'll come back and get it. So, uh, yeah, I got you, Muhammad, bro. I got you, bro. I got you, bro. So anyway, yeah. It is what it is. We came up into the distribution that we got here. You guys can see we had a nice clean distro here that I ended up catching a little 10-1, and then we had another distro off this 1-minute that we just never came back to test out of, right? Right here. So, we had a distro. You can see let me annotate it. We had our selling climax, secondary test, up thrust, UTAD. The UTAD, right, broke structure, and we just never came back to test any of this out. So ideally, that's where my target for the buys were. I wanted to test them out. This was the high here, so I was expecting a sell-off, and we're slowly getting it. You could see it. We came into it, and we're doing the shenanigans. So I don't personally like to trade it during Asian. I'll take a look at it in the morning. All right. Yeah, it is what it is, though. This saved the day. I didn't enter out the start spring. Yeah, perfect, man, perfect. Yeah, I mean, we saw buys. We saw buys this morning. I was looking for the buy. I just was doing like 13 things at one time, and I couldn't sit there and babysit price, so I had a limit order, and it just didn't fill. But all right, so let's get into what I'm in right now. I'm in a Euro odd setup, and it is moving very nicely now. I'll tell you right now, I got manipulated on the spread on my personal broker, but on my FTMO account, I'm still active in it. But let's dive into it. Let's take a look at what is perfect. All right, let's take a look what's going on. Right. Everyone knows I've been looking at Euro odd for probably, man, I don't know. I want to say a month and a half. It's been a month and a half. So we have on the daily time frame, you really can't, I don't have it marked out, but we have an accumulation schematic, right? We have selling climax, secondary test in B, broke structure, and then potentially we have our spring, right? Our spring. Okay. No, I don't use a standard, bro. No, but I'll screenshot it for you. My broker, the spread went to 15 pips at changeover at 5 p.m. for me. So, and then they did some shenanigans where like it gapped down and then immediately came back up. So it took me out of the market, dude. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Yeah, I'm gonna send a scathing email. Don't you worry. Because I was at break even and thankfully, yeah. Thankfully, I didn't lose any money, but I was pissed. But my FTMO account, I'm still up pretty good on it. So, but anyway, we have our daily schematic, right? Daily schematic. We came into our spring, and these are the things that you want to look for when I talk about finding a schematic within a schematic. If you have a higher time frame schematic, you can play off that forever, right? Forever. And just to give you guys an idea how long I've been playing for it, right? So I do know November 17th. I'm going to open up my chart here, but November 17th is when I started. Let me close out of this. Hold on. November 17th is when I started looking at Euro odd, right? Let me just see if I could open up these without causing a ruckus. All right. So November 17th is when I initially saw our change of character in phase A, which is in this area right here. All right. Actually, there it is. So I can start to see, right? Screenshot this November 17th. I started to see what we were looking at. And this is where I wanted to play. If price came up here, if price came up into this area here, I wanted to see some distro to take it down into accumulation all the way up. And then we were just going to play this. Okay. That was the idea I wanted to see. And then from there, we just started to trade the crap out of Euro odd, right? We caught a lot of Euro odd. It's definitely paid me out a lot of money. All right. The secondary test in B here, taking it all the way up was phenomenal. But let's look at it on the 4 hour, right? So on the 4 hour, we have a schematic within the schematic, right? We have now this schematic that created a potential spring, right? A potential spring. All right. Once you start to really train your eye, you're going to notice that this should be screaming at you that this is a schematic, right? We have accumulation. We broke structure. We came in for an LPS and we're going up. Okay. So for me, my targets, right? My targets on Euro odd are ideally the top of the trading range. Okay. So when we look at what these targets are, we're talking anywhere from 260 to 330 pips at minimum is what I'm looking at. All right. That's what ideally I'd want to try to get. All right. You're bearish on it, bro. All right. Hey, sounds good. You could be bearish. I agree. Listen, there was a good distro in here to sell it down. All right. So on the 1 hour, right? 1 hour, you could see how we're starting to compress coming into this, right? The compression is very clean. And we start to actually get a schematic. All right. We start to get a schematic. Let me go on here it is. Okay. So on the 30-minute time frame, we have a type 2 schematic, right? We have a type 2. Everything's labeled pretty nicely. And the confirmation that we're not going to get our spring is when we exit our trading range and we break structure, right? This leg right here confirms that we're not getting our spring. All right. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but the likelihood of it happening it's slim to none. All right. So for me, I'm looking at a point of interest that I want to play the market off of. Okay. In this case, this is my point of interest. All right. I'm not just going to set a limit order though, because the limit order would be kind of ridiculous because I'd have to account for price coming all the way down to here, right? I need my stop loss to be down to here. And really, I don't want to deal with that, right? I don't want to have a 15, 16 pip stop loss. All right. So as we have our point of interest and I have my alert set, I really don't pay attention to this until my alerts go off. All right. It allows me to do other stuff that I need to do. So let's go down to the 5 minute now. Right. And as we get into the 5 minute, you're going to see that inside of this schematic, right? Inside of the bigger schematic, we actually had a smaller schematic, right? We had a smaller schematic that came in, created a type 1 accumulation schematic. We did get our spring, right? This is the spring. Price broke up and out of the trading range. So now these 2 points of interest become my main points of interest to look as price now trades back down into our area. All righty. Yeah, the call is recorded. It is. Um, so as we come over, right, as we come into my first point of interest, I'm not going to set a limit order, right? I'm not setting a limit order. What I'm personally doing is looking to see how we trade into this point of interest. And you can see this is exactly what you want to see. You want to see the compression. You don't want to see price just falling, right? You never want to catch that falling knife. You never want to call the bottom. What you do want to do is you want to see price start to slowly trade in and then build a schematic, right? We have a nice selling climax into our secondary test in B. And one of the things that a lot of people get thrown off on is this a valid spring, right? Is this a valid spring or is this just equal lows, right? How many of you would look at this if you guys have throw it in the chat. If you think that this is a type 1 schematic, throw number 1, and if you think this is a 2 where there's no spring and we have equal lows, put it to number 2 in the chat. You let me know what your thoughts are. Twos, lots of twos, bro. Lots of twos, lots of twos. All right, all right. I can guarantee you, if this was a schematic number 2, when we left those equal lows, I probably wouldn't have taken this trade. But let me show you a little secret. Come over to the line chart, and what's that line chart show you? What's that line chart show you? That line chart shows you that we had our spring. Yes, sir. So make sure, and this is one of the things that I journal, make sure you always take these screenshots of your line chart, okay? Because the line chart is what true price, where the actual open and closes are. So yeah, for me, this confirmed all the way. I'm taking the entry, okay? My point of interest now for LPS was in this price because this is the price that actually created this breakup structure. All right. We have mitigated out of this candle according to what I see here. And this is, I guarantee you, like a reaccumulation on like a 15-second time frame. All right. So boom, we break out of the trading range. And now what I want to see is my LPS range. And I took it off the 5-minute. All right. We can look over at the 5-minute. We have a nice 5-minute candle right here. I took it off the open of the candle, stop loss just below the wicks. All right. So we're talking a three pip stop loss. That's where I took it. And you could see price is now kind of just doing its thing, hovering. But I'm more than happy to be at break even. All right. This is sitting at 14 pips off a 3-pip stop loss. All right. So, it is what it is. I am looking to take this up to the top of the trading range. So if this ends up going the way I like, they're going to end up being a 108-to-1 ROI. All righty. So that's what I'm looking at. All right. I put a 0.25% risk, and I'm going to make 108-to-1 off of that if it gets up to the top of the trading range. All right. If not, if it stops me out at break even, it does. No big deal. But if you take a look at what we're doing, right, just pay attention to the order flow. Right? What is the order flow telling you? All right. We're respecting the lows. Now, this is that 5 o'clock shenanigans, whatever. We're just respecting the lows. All right. So I'm going to let this ride. We're going to see how it goes. A possible re-entry for this. I'll be honest, like just follow the order flow. All right. You could see how we are respecting each low. All right. Wait for another break of structure. And when that impulse happens, just look for a retracement. But this, I'm personally not going to be adding any more positions until I see possible reaccumulation, right? If I see a possible reaccumulation, somewhere up in here, where it's going to look like distribution, right? We get our shakeout, we jump our creek, break structure, right? Then I'm going to take another entry right here, up. All right. I'm going to take it off of that. All right. Will you take partials? Yeah, I'll take partials, but I'm not going to take partials for a while. I'm gonna let this run. I want this to at least get up and break. So realistically, we're bearish on a lot of the time frames, right? Actually, probably from everything except for the 5-minute and the 1-minute right now, we are bearish. We haven't even broken 15-minute structure, okay? Because 15-minute structure, right, is sitting right here. This is the next lower high. So if we're going down structure, this is the previous lower high. So I want to at least break this. I do want to get above I do want to get above like all of this shenanigans. All right. And you can just see, look at the order flow coming down in here. All right. I do want to just get a nice reaction, and I'll potentially start to look for some partials when we take these highs here. All right. When we take these highs here. So, ultimately that's what I'm looking at. All right. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. All right. I don't want to take any partials until we get up to the top of this trading range. All right. And then that's where I'll start to look to see what we're going to do. Because potentially, if this was our spring, we will retrace to test out the spring. So that's how I'm looking at it. All right. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Absolutely. So Euro odd, that's your odd in a nutshell. All right. It is what it is. The other thing I have on my radar, so I was actually looking at UJ, right? But UJ just really isn't reacting the way I want it to. And I don't have a lot of faith in the dollar. Okay. Um, you could see that, we are remind me at the end, and I'll post a link to my YouTube. All right. Or if someone has it, just toss it in the chat. But that's where I post the link to. We do have an accumulation, right? But what we do have is an accumulation within an accumulation, right? We have a daily potential accumulation, right? This was our spring. We came up. Now we're testing our spring. And this is our 4-hour accumulation that is encompassing that, right? So we have the accumulation within the accumulation. This tells me that there is interest, or they're trying to gain interest, right? An institution is trying to gain interest to take this thing higher. All right. Fundamentals for Euro right now, I have no idea. I have no clue. EuroCAD. So me and EuroCAD are divorced right now. I'm not currently taking calls on EuroCAD. So it is what it is. I wish you luck if you're trading EuroCAD, but I almost needed to buy a new computer because of EuroCAD. So yeah. So here we go. We're in a 4-hour, and what's going on in here is what I'm looking at. All right. Um, if we go down to the 15-minute time frame, right, you could see that we potentially definitely have a point of interest in here, right? We have some imbalance. We do have a key area I was looking at, and this morning I was actually looking at a potential accumulation, but it just failed for me, right? We really didn't get what I wanted. You could see potentially what I was looking at was an entry off of this LPSY entry here. We confirmed it's not going to be a spring, right? So we can throw this off the table, all right? And we exited the trading range. I was potentially looking at this right here, right? This candle right here to play off of. Um, it didn't line up, right? For me, this happened at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I really didn't want to get into this trade at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But ultimately, it would have, if you would have taken it, it would have profited at least some, because you were talking a one and a, oh, we'll say a one, we'll say two, we'll just round it to two. It was a 2 pip stop loss, and at one point you were 4-1 on it. All right, so it did give a reaction off that area. Um, but yeah, it just died. I was potentially looking to see if I wanted to take something like this during Asian, but there's a dollar for you. The dollar is just doing its thing, man. So this is a failed accumulation, right? I mean, it did in this actual schematic right here. It did complete the schematic, right? Because we did exit the trading range, but then there was just not enough interest from buyers to take it higher. So for me, UJ right now is going the way of the DXY, which is right down the toilet. I'm not really interested in fighting the dollar, and you can see again, like price, you can see how price came into our point of interest. This is what I like to see. Nice, clean, bearish order flow. And then you can ideally see where we start to change our bias, or not our bias, but our order flow from bearish to potentially bullish, but there was no follow through, right? I wanted to see follow through, and we just didn't get it. All right. You distributed off 104, 100. Let's see. Oh yeah, bro. Look at that. That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, man. You guys have an advantage. Those young whippersnappers, man, that get up early, dude. Because like this happened at 4:30 in the morning. I never would have caught this at 4:30 because I was sound asleep. All right. So that's UJ. All right, that's UJ. Let's the other one I was looking at was potentially U Chef, man, but I mean, it's not anywhere close, right? So the only thing I was looking at you, Chef, was because of this, right? We traded into a weekly imbalance, right? We traded into a weekly imbalance, and I was potentially looking, right, for some accumulation right here. All right. And you could see where I'm looking. So, I mean, this isn't the cleanest. I mean, it is a schematic. We have created a selling climax, secondary test, test in B, or actually a secondary test, another secondary test, another secondary test. So at this point, the only thing that is going to get me in this damn trade is a spring with a break of structure, right? Mitigate out of whatever candle we're doing, and I'm going to take it up, and it's only short term, right? Like I'm not taking this for 500 pips. I'm not looking for 100 pips, right? For me, this is going to be something that I'm going to potentially take into this H4 candle right up here, and then look for a selling opportunity to take this down. All right. I mean, this is realistically from here to here, we're only talking about 140 pips. That's it. All right. So, I'm personally just, I got my alert. It's one of those, I'm going to watch price action. I have to see like the perfect schematic. I need every checklist, every item on my checklist to be checked off for me to take this trade. All right. For me to take this trade. So, do I trail my stop? So I personally don't trail my stop. All right. I let it sit at break even and I have a take profit. So we're either going to do or die, right? We're going to hit my trail, or we're going to hit my take profit, or we're going to hit my break even. Because too many times, like managing your trailing stop ends up getting you out of the trade when you should have just been sitting there relaxing and allowing the trade to move. Okay. Um, a perfect example, and I'll just talk briefly about it, right? We'll talk about CJ, right? So let's talk about CJ. So, and I know a lot of you guys have already heard this spiel, so just bear with me, all right? So CJ on the weekly, all right? Actually, it's funny. I wonder if Zach saw my joke I sent him. If you guys were on Zach McDonald's session, everybody was throwing in like charts. So I threw in a weekly chart like this, and this is what I sent him. I put a limit order like this, and I just moved it like that. So it was 150 pip stop for 1,000 pips. Yeah, I did it like that. I sent him that. I wonder if he caught it. I gotta message him to see if he caught it. That'd be funny. Um, anyway, so on the weekly, we're bearish, right? We are bearish, bearish, bearish. I mean, everyone should be able to see this. Um, and if you pay attention to what is going on, right? Every time we pull back, what do? We fall. We pull back, right? Complex pullback. Look how long it takes, and then we fall. We pull back, look how long it takes, and then we fall. Then we pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back. So I'm expecting the fall. I'm expecting a new lower low. All right. So this is the move I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for this move since about April, right? April, when we made this new low and we started to pull back. All right. This is going to be 1,000 pip move if it works out in our favor. All right. So if I can position myself in a 2 pip, 3 pip, 4 pip stop loss, 1,000 pips doesn't sound too bad, right? Even if I got to hold it a couple months, right? Who's gonna turn down a 1,000 to 1 ROI? Okay. Uh, you know, yeah. Well, so don't get me started with FTMO. Don't get me started with FTMO. So it is what it is, like, eventually I'll be able to get permission to hold it over. But on the daily time frame, what are we doing, right? We're just building a complex pullback, right? Building a complex pullback. All right. And ideally we want to take it up into this area here. That's why I've been looking for buys to take it up. All right. Um, for the schematic and the weekly point of interest, what time frame would you be on to look for the schematic? Any time frame, any time frame. Is Wyckoff necessary? It's not necessary, but you're not going to get 1 pip stop losses without the schematic, or at least knowing what you're doing in the schematic. Okay. Lower time frame distro to sell off from that area. Yep, absolutely, Matt. You got it, bro. I'm going to be looking, I mean, obviously a great example. If you guys were trading Odd CAD with us last week, right? Odd CAD had a 4-hour, right? Had a 4-hour distribution schematic. And when you came into the test, because the 4-hour sell limit would have been something like 16 pips. But if you caught in the test the 1-minute distribution schematic, this was like a 3 pip stop loss. Okay. And that went for over 100 pips. So, obviously, yeah. I mean, if you find the higher time, and you can see the schematic right here, right? You could see the distribution schematic here, and all we're doing is we're coming up here to test this UTAD. Okay. But ideally, I don't want to trade it off of that because that's ridiculous. 100 pip stop, you know? Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's a 4. It's an ascending wedge. Okay. So let's go over now to the 4 hour, right? On the 4 hour, and this is where, understanding what the market's doing and charting and doing your thing, right? This is where it's all about, right? This is where, and I went over this chart today to do some more journaling and back testing, and I found 4 positions that actually 5 positions. 4 of them were over a 1 to 100, and the fifth one was a 1 to 78. All right. Um, but yeah, I mean, this was the key area right here. This is when we started looking for buys. We started looking for buys on this break of the H4 structure, right? This break of our H4, because at this point, what were we, right? We were bearish. We had our high, we had a low, we had our high, we had a low, and boom, we break H4 structure. All right. So after a structure break, what do we expect? We expect that pullback. MTL, money trend line. All right. Yeah. I throw little acronyms in there to throw off the spies, man. Um, the difference between distribution and reaccumulation, yeah, that's a whole nother topic, man. We're gonna have to talk about that. That'll get us into like a 2 hour conversation. We'll talk about it if I see reaccumulation. All right. Just know this, right? Distribution, you always trade the distribution until you get confirmations for the reaccumulation. All right. And in a nutshell, I'll just do this, right? Distribution, UT, UTAD, break of structure, test, right? You're going to get into a sell here. All right. As you're trading down, what are you doing? Order flow, and you're building a creek. If price breaks structure and jumps the creek, this is your creek. If we break structure and jump our creek, we are now in reaccumulation. So you want to buy off our shakeout. You want to buy here. So you would sell the test, buy the LPS. All right. That's the easiest way to describe it for you. All right. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of back testing, but especially those in the Discord, you guys are starting to learn it. Props to you guys. A lot of you guys when you first started it, I could see the progression. So you guys are doing it. But ideally, yeah, we had a pullback, right? We had a pullback. We caught some accumulation in here. There was actually 3 different types of accumulation in here you could have caught. We ended up coming into another point of interest down in here. There was all types of accumulations that you could have bought coming into this area, right? Just to give you an idea, one of the ones that I personally got into was right in here. Let me just see if it's in here. Oh no, we're higher. We are higher. Let's just see. I don't want to take too much on CAJ because right now I don't have anything, but it made its moves. It did its thing. It is what it is. Oh, come on. Let me go to the 1 hour. All right, perfect. There you go. All right, so CAJ did give some really nice schematics, and I'll tell you right now, I missed this one. So I missed this one here. This one should have been, even though we ideally did not test this low right here, and we created equal lows. On further back testing, I'll tell you right now, we had a schematic, right? My rule is I always want the spring to be the most volume of the candles with the most volume. So I would have wanted these 2 candles right here. All right. So if I go to is it a 6-minute? Hold on. Let's see. Is it a 6-minute? I think. If I go to a 6-minute candle, yeah, it's a 6-minute. If I go to a 6-minute candle, that's the candle with the most volume, right? Coming down to take out these lows. And if I come here and I put, normally what I like to do is I like to take 50% of that candle, right? If it's a big candle, I like to do 50% of the candle. All right. If I put 50% on that 6-minute, that 50% lines up exactly where price came in to test, right? Actually, hold on. Maybe it wasn't maybe it was a 3-minute I took. Yep, that was the 3-minute. So you see this 3-minute is the one that has the most volume. And this is what I back tested. You come here, you put the 50%, and you could see 50%, you would have got triggered right by this wick right here. It did leave equal lows, but I should have taken it because when you look at the 1 minute, we did make a high. And that was the one thing I was waiting for. I was waiting for a break of structure. And if we go to the 1 minute, look at the line chart. This high did just ever so slightly break above this one right here. And you could see it if I line it up like that. So I should have taken this trade. And this trade right now would be sitting at I think price went up to 82.60. So this trade should be sitting at a 69-1 right now. It is what it is. Price did it. There was another entry right in here off of reaccumulation. And then ultimately, I'm in the trade from this point of interest right over here. So I got in from this entry right here. I'm holding still 50% of my volume. Simply all it was just price came into a really weak accumulation, but it was during Asian session and I just took the buy. And you can see price has definitely exploded from there. Yeah. So I'm in it from down here, right here, and price is sitting up here doing its thing. It's been kind of sideways for a while. But it did make its move, and we did have a really nice accumulation in here. If you go down to the smaller time frame, I think it was the 5 minute. No, 1 minute. You could see it right in here. Here was the move. All right. Here was the move. Price created a spring, broke up, came back into the 1 minute candle. This happened at 11 o'clock in the morning. Pretty clean schematic right here on the 1 minute. And just to give you an idea, like if you took it off the 1 minute open, you were looking at a 2-pip stop. So 2-pip stop to where it's currently sitting at right now is, let's see, where is it at right now? Jeez. Bro, Victor, I can't believe we missed this, man. I can't believe we missed it. All right, so we'll just say at the peak it was up 30 pips, but where it's currently sitting, it's 19 pips. So you're currently sitting at a 1 to 9. All right. Yeah. So you caught EJ last week the same way. Awesome. Good. All right. So that was the move. I mean, that's what I was looking for. I got sidetracked and I didn't see the stupid thing, right? Do I think gold is coming down one last time into the daily IC for a whale seasonality trade, or do you think it's gone? Let's see. Let us see. So what do I think gold is doing? Well, gold is getting pretty darn close to my point of interest. So I do want to see gold come down. If you look at the weekly, right? If you look at the weekly, this is where I want to see gold come into. Right here. Anywhere between 1680 and 1730 is where I want to see gold come down to before I really start looking for buys. All right. But for right now, yeah, I mean, I got a point of interest. I've got, I want to see, I was looking for a buy entry this morning. I'm going to put that right up here. Just see how we build it. And I'm curious to see, what do we look like? Look at this thing, man. It never came down into it. Anyway, so I had a reaccumulation. I labeled it wrong, but this is reaccumulation right here. I was looking at it this morning, and I think I just forgot about it. Perfect here. So here's a good example of reaccumulation, right? We had a distribution. No way was I looking for this as distribution. We had our shakeout, and what do? We jumped our creek and broke structure, right? So I had a 1 minute decisional candle I was looking at that did give a reaction, but I mean, I didn't even get in this trade. But this is where I really wanted to play it off of right in here. I guarantee you this just came into like a wick fill. That's all it was. Maybe like a 3 minute. Oh, damn it. I would have played off the 3 minute. Look at that. I would have got filled. I would have played off of that. Yep. I don't know if you guys can see it, but like on this 3 minute, that 3 minute candle is what you want to play off of. And then you can see the itty bitty imbalance that we have right in here. in between these two wicks. And I guarantee you it's more present on the 1 minute, right? So we have that little bitty imbalance. And if you go to the 1 minute, it's present. Let's see. Oh no, the 1 minute's not. 1 minute's lower. 1 minute's down here. But for me, you see how 1, 2, 3 candles, these 3 candles are your shakeout candles. These are the ones that hold the volume, right? So I would have played off the 3 minute. Yeah, I missed that. That would have been a decent trade. It is what it is though, yeah. So gold, yeah. What do I see for gold? I mean, I do think it's going to trade up into this, and I want to see a distribution up here, right? So this 1 hour is ideally where I want to see us come up to. All right. This 1 hour right here. All right. And what I want to see when we get up there is I want to see a distribution schematic, right? I just want to see us trade up. And you can see how we're kind of just like staggering around, but I want to see now us build a distribution. And I'm going to take the entry off the test. All right. That's simple, right? I'm not, and you can see like the reason we're coming up here, right? The reason we're coming up here is this is our distribution here, right? This is our last distribution right here. All right. Last distribution are 3 drives. We break structure, we test out, and boom, we come down. So, this is our point of interest right here. These are our 2 LPSY entries right here, right? These are the 2 LPSYs. So these are supply points, and this is where price needs to return to. Okay. Price needs to return here. And, again, I'm not going to just put a limit order on it. I want to see the distribution to take this sucker down. All right. Let's see. Come on. All right. Let me open that one up. Let me see. EJ. Hold on. Oh, that's my page. My bad. Hold on. Are you still holding that EJ? Let's see. I think I got everyone. Okay. Yeah. Do I trade SPX? Yeah, I trade SPX. XPS didn't give me anything today. Yeah. If you're still in this EJ, that's great. Hold on. Who's, let's see. Curious. Okay. Yeah. EJ, I was looking for buys all day on EJ. Those are good moves on EJ. Let me see what this thing did. Yeah, I'll be honest, like the best buy on EJ was right in here. This was on Friday. Right in here on Friday, we came into a really nice point of interest. If you, let's just go to right here. We go down to the 1 minute. All right. Why it was a nice point of interest. So this was our last point where price needed to remain bullish, right? So we had this 1 minute candle with imbalance sitting right in there. This was our extreme. You could see the accumulation, right? Accumulation. We broke structure. We came down for a last point of supply. I'm sorry, last point of support. Oh, EA just broke the high. And then it took off, right? So that's what I want to see. I want to see us now return and build a schematic inside of that, right? So a lost, here we go. Here is a schematic, right? So we have a nice preliminary support. We're trading nicely into it. Again, it's a type 2 schematic because we trade outside of the trading range, right? So for me, whether you took it off the imbalance here or 50% of this candle, that's what I did, 50% of the 1 minute candle. Stop was 1.2 pips. All right. And then we immediately get the signs of strength that we were looking for, right? Price just takes off. Okay. Do I trade silver? No, I don't trade silver. I use it for like comparative divergence, but I don't trade it just because the spreads on my broker are ridiculous. Gold has better spreads. So yeah. So that was the only thing I was looking on EJ. I was looking to see if we were going to build something out of this, right? But obviously it just kind of like fell apart. We just like fizzled out, and you can see what we're doing now. Like all day through New York, I was looking at potentially an entry here. I'm still looking at an entry, but I think honestly, for me, this is garbage. Like I don't want to look at this like this. This is the 1 minute down here. So as long as we don't break this 1 minute, we maintain bullishness. All right. As long as we don't take this low right here, okay, I'm still bullish on it. But if we do, then we'll be looking to come down into this imbalance, and I have some targets down in here. I have a 4-hour point of interest that I will play off of right in here. You know, right in here is where ideally I'd like to see this come down to. But if it's going to maintain, bullishness, I'll stay with the bullishness. It's just kind of, it's just kind of sitting around right now. All right. The one thing I'm cognizant of is you can see we got money, right? We got a trend line, boom, boom. And if we do come down to this 4-hour, we're going to have a third touch. So I'm curious to see what the manipulation is going to be. But at the end of the day, we are in a schematic, right? We just exited a 4-hour accumulation schematic, and this is our signs of strength. So we're looking for that LPS entry, right? That backup LPS entry to take us higher. All right. And ideally, I'm looking to target some of this weekly imbalance up here. All righty. This would I would take a look. Yeah, Sam, hold on. What is it? Come on. How about GU for the sell? Yeah. GU and GJ. I'm going to talk about them next. So you're in EJ for this off distro. Yeah, man, you're good. What was that? 126.13. 126.13. Where are you at with it? Let's see. 126.13. All right. So what are you, like 20 pips in profit? Okay. I got you. You caught it. Where'd you catch it? Up here? No. 126.13. Yeah. You caught it right here. Okay, I got you. Yeah. That's the distro. Yeah. That was a clean grab. Like I said, though, me personally, like everyone was talking, I talked about this in the chat this morning. Everyone this morning was looking for sells on EJ, right? When we were, I think in here or possibly in here, right? In every time frame, we were bullish on it. So just follow structure. If structure tells you to go bearish, go bearish. If it tells you to go bullish, go bullish. Okay. All right. So, and everyone should be, up to speed on what the structure of this is. All right. So let's look at GU, right? So GU, let's look at the 4-hour on GU, right? So GU, man, look at GU, dude. Wow. All right. So GU, if we follow structure, right? And this is just H4 structure. I know the daily we are bullish, the weekly we're bullish, right? I'm looking to take the 2019 highs anyway, but I want to buy it from a more discounted rate. Okay. But you can see, we should be able to see this was our high, right? This was our high. All right. And ultimately, this was our last pullback, right? So we made a high and then we broke this low. And then we made a lower high, right? And we made a new lower low. So realistically, we are bearish on the H4, right? This is what's holding bearish structure for GU on the H4 time frame. Okay. So ideally, what I wanted to see was us trade into this H4 and start to build some distribution on it. I personally don't like to trade GU during Asian session. I really don't like to trade during Asian session. Okay. Honestly, for me, there's nothing here. This is, well, you know what? I take it back. Hold on. Hold the phone. Look at that. These sly bastards, bro. I don't know if you guys see what time this distribution happened, right? So you see my box, right? I have my box here that says, look for distribution here, man. These crummy bastards, bro. So I was looking for distribution here, and sure enough, we got distribution, right? So for those of you that, are having trouble seeing it, look, I'm going to draw it out for you. Okay. You can see how we're starting to compress coming into it, right? We compress. And then what do we have? So we have and I'm not going to draw it out like clean, but we have our selling climax, secondary test, right? And then we have our up thrust. The confirmation that we are not going to get a UTAD, okay, is a break of structure. So if we understand, right, that this is now the low because we made a high, this is the low, make a new high, and we ultimately break structure. So even if this wick didn't break structure, this did here, right? This did here. So there is no UTAD in the FXCM is different. Let's take a look. Hold on. Let me get out of annotate. Hold on. I'll be honest, I don't use this garbage FXCM because they manipulate. No, no, this is still the same. Yeah, yeah, we're still good. We're still good. So perfect example. You see this manipulative crap right here. This is FXCM, man. But it's the same. It's ideally the same. So what are we looking at? Let me just go back to mine because I had my. What are we looking at? So we have our selling climax, our secondary test, and our up thrust. All right. And whether you're, like if you want to go to the line chart on this to see structure, go to the line chart, right? So where do we break structure? If this is the low, we break structure right here. Okay. So if you see that like that, let's go back to the candles. All right. Now, when we come back to look for an entry, we can clearly see that all of this has been cleanly mitigated, right? So the only thing to me that sticks out is ideally something in here, right? Something in here. Whether you look at, because you can see this imbalance was mitigated by this wick right here. All right. So I would potentially play my entry would be, I would just make it easy. My entry would be this candle right here with the stop loss right here. That is how I would have played this. Had this not been at 7:35 in the afternoon, where changeover, my spreads were probably 20 pips on GU, right? When they give this manipulative crap. That's why, I'll tell you right now, that's why I got stopped out of EA, because they were doing all kinds of shenanigans. But realistically, you could have taken the entry like that. Stop loss was right here. So you're talking a 2-pip stop. All right. A 2-pip stop. Ideally, right? H4 is bearish, right? H4 is bearish. Look at the bearish order flow. Where would we be looking to take this trade, right? Well, if we're bearish on the H4, it just makes sense, right? To make it a new H4 low, right? It makes sense to make a new H4 low. So this H4, we'll just say 131,500, right? We'll call it an even 131,500 as a target. All right. So potentially the risk to reward on this trade, 31,500. All right. Risk to reward on this is a 1 to 155. All right. That's what we're looking at. Now, granted, this will take a couple of days. I mean, who knows? Maybe Brexit will be back off and GU plummets tomorrow. So it'll get done by lunchtime. But I'd still be willing to hold a trade for 1 to 155. All right. Let's see what you got, bro. No, can't open that. Yeah, bro, I can't open them. I don't know. Watching these always reminds me not to get caught up with the price action because these clean schematics. Yep. Yeah, man. And like I said, you're in the sell on GU. How the heck did you get in that sell, dude? Like my spread was ridiculous. Let me see. You took it off of the 1 hour. Oh, okay. Yeah, you took it off the 1 hour, dude. All right, I got you. Yeah, so I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, Ray, there's nothing wrong with it. Just for me, that's a 15 pip stop, man. I can't. Me personally, I just can't take a 15 pip stop. You know. Yeah, 50% of the 30-minute. I got you. All right, that works, man. That works. Yeah. How can you tell the difference between a 1 minute to 4 hour distribution in terms of fractal? Because sometimes you'd see distribution, but it's just a higher time frame BC. Yep, exactly. It could be, right? Here, I'll just give you a great example, right? A great example is this piece of junk OddCAD right here. Let's look at OddCAD real quick, right? And so last week, right? Last week this was distribution in here, right? This is all distribution. Buying climax, secondary test, up thrust, UTAD. We break structure, and we come up for the test of the UTAD, right? Test of the UTAD. Am I going to take an entry off of this 4 hour candle? I'm not, right? Never will I ever do that. However, if you come down to the lower time frame, and see what she's doing, you can see that we are going to build a schematic, right? We are building a 5-minute schematic, right? If we look at the 5-minute, we're in a 5-minute schematic here inside of that test, right? Inside of that test. So now let's play it, right? what do we have? We have our up thrust and we have our UT, right? We have our UT. All right. Up thrust into our up thrust after distribution. Now, if we go to the 1 minute, right? What happened on this 1 minute? We have a buying climax, a secondary test, an up thrust after distribution with the break of structure. So we had inside of this 5 minute, we had distribution inside of just the test, right? The fractal distribution here. And you could have either have played off of, in my case, I played off the 5 minute. This 5 minute candle is where I played off of right here. And, you know, this ended up with a 4.3 pip stop loss. All right. And then I don't remember what it went down to, but we took it, let's see. We took it down to I mean, even if I took it to these equal lows at 95.15, which it went lower than that, I know that. But at 95.15, it was a 20-1 off of that distribution. And actually it went lower because this one here, I carried to here. So this one went down to here. So this was a 23-1, you know. And then ultimately it decided to be ACAT and be stupid and do all other kinds of stuff. So right now, like I'm not even paying attention to it. It's doing its thing. All right. But yeah, that's ultimately what you want to do in a higher time frame schematic. Just find your points, you know, find your points and play the distribution. You know, if you're in a, and here, this, I'll give you this advice, right? So if you're in distribution and you have your buying climax to your automatic rally and you make your secondary test, there's nothing wrong if you believe that this is going to be a schematic to get into a lower time frame, right? Distribution to now sell down to the bottom of your trading range. And then when you get down to your trading range, this is where you can work a hedge and catch small time frame accumulation and buy it up into your UTAD and then go ahead and sell it off of distribution, right? Down into a potential minor sign of weakness, where then you can come in here, catch distribution or accumulation, right? Buy it up into your UTAD, do the same thing down, and then walk it down. So instead of waiting 3-4 months, right, to catch this play up here, all right, you could have caught this up here, here, and here. And this is what understanding the market cycle is all about. Because on this daily schematic or this H4 schematic, right, on the 15-minute, you are working the market cycle, right? You're working the market cycle. And that's ultimately how you want to trade. That's, I mean, like if I can give you like a secret code to trading, that's what it is. Understand your market cycle, understand your, you know, your structure points. Okay, hold on. How much risk do you take for every trade? 0.25%. 0.025 is what I risk on a trade. Spring. Okay, read distro. Hold on. So for read distro, okay, kind of, and reaccumulation. All right, so okay, yes and no, right? All right, so the easiest way to give it, don't the only thing you care about is on read distro, right? On read distro, you want to have your UTAD first and then your shakeout, right? Because on read distro, it is, yeah, like I don't want to confuse you here. Okay, yeah. So I'll just draw it out for you, right? Read distro, what you're looking for is it is a accumulation, right? ST spring, right? You get your test, you come up and you break structure, right? And as you're going up, if you're walking it up, you're building, right? You're essentially drawing your ice. So like you want to flip these, right? Like this creek needs to be over here on redistro and the ice needs to be on reaccumulation. All right. And then just flip it. So you want your on reaccumulation, right? You want, you know, you want to flop the spring and the UTAD need to be the other side, if that makes sense. All right. Just know this, a distribution is a distribution until phase D, when it jumps the creek and breaks, or when it breaks structure and jumps your creek, and a reaccumulation is when it breaks through the ice and breaks structure. All right. If that makes sense. All right. How do I keep track of so many pairs? Um, Organization, man, organization. That's honestly, that's how I do it. Like everything's alphabetized. Um, I have everything. I have everything alphabetized, and then when I go on a higher time frame and I see something that I want to trade in the future, I just set an alert. And when it comes to a point where it's getting ready to be tradable, it goes into my secondary test or secondary watch list. When it's currently something I'm going to be trading within the next 7 days, it goes into my primary watch list. Right. When I'm actively in a trade, it comes into my active orders. And then when I don't have any pending orders, but if I did have a pending order, like it would go to my blue box, which is pending orders. And that way I know this is a pending order. Right. But it's just organization. Keep everything organized and you'll be good. All right. Um, Okay, so let's talk about. I kind of got sidetracked here for a second. What else are we looking at? Oh, GJ. Let's look at GJ. Right. So we understand what GU is doing. I potentially will look for potential sells if we get the confirmation. Right, the confirmation for sells. But on GJ, I'll be honest. It's the same thing as GU. Right. We've broken H4 structure. Ideally, if we trade up into this H4 candle, I want to look for distribution just like GU. All right. If we end up breaking maybe like I don't know what 30-minute structure is looking like, but if we end up breaking maybe down, make this low. If we break this low, then I'm just going to be looking for sells, right? I'll look for some like redistribution on it. Um, I don't think this gave any distro. Look at that. It did. It gave a little distro. Look at that. Buying climax, secondary test, up thrust. I just don't know if it qualified for a. Yeah, no, it didn't. You could see here we didn't break structure. So not only that, but this isn't in a point of interest for me to take a sell. All right. And I only like to take sells from points of interest. I would have wanted us to come up into this. All right. But GJ, I'm looking to short it. Um, I just need to have the right confirmations for me to short this thing. All right. Uh, yeah. I do have family in Portugal. Yep, in Lisbon and in Porto. So yeah, it is. It's like it is a common last name. So, um, what was I looking here? Uh, I should record a video on how to get organized. GU. Um, yeah, I mean the gap's got to get filled. That would be my first targets. But yeah, I mean we're bearish on the H4, so I want to take it down and make a new H4. Okay. Um, Odd Chef. Man, I haven't looked at. I don't. I'll be honest. Like I haven't looked at Odd Chef. It's not on my watch list. Um, Off the 15. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where Odd Chef is in the grand scheme of things. Hold on. Let me just see. Like I don't. I think it's on my secondary. No, it's not even on my secondary. Yeah, I don't have a top down done on it. So like I don't know. Yeah, the last time I traded it was distribution last couple weeks ago. I mean we are in a bigger schematic, right? You could see the H4 schematic. Um, so I know you took it off of a 15, but we really look at this 30-minute there. This would have been the play right in here. This was this was the distribution schematic here. You can see how we're compressing. We create buying climax, secondary test, up thrust. It doesn't look like we broke structure, so I wouldn't have taken this LPS entry. But what happened, right? You can see we came back into like this 30-minute point of interest right in here. Um, probably that's the 1 hour. Let's see. Yeah, it was a gap fill. Look at that. So ideally, this came in to the imbalance of that 1 hour, touched it, and that would have been the entry. But yeah, I mean, if you saw it on the 15-minute, that's a clean. Yeah, this is where you caught it, right? Yeah, this was a clean area to look for it because it came back into a supply point, right? I just don't know. I mean, like I haven't looked at Odd Chef, in a minute. I was bearish on it to come down, but I'm also bearish just to turn around and buy it up. Okay. Um, Alrighty. That is, let's see. Man, holy crap. I'm trying to keep up this. Answer my question. I do speak Portuguese. Yeah, yeah. Oh man, I don't have my glasses on that. Yeah, yeah, I know I do. What are you seeing on UCAD at the moment? Just pure bearish. Yeah, Eurocad, UCAD. Yeah, yeah, if you want my opinion in your UCAD, sell by market, and you'll be good. You'll be good at any point. At any point in the last 6 months, I'm pretty sure you would have been in profit no matter where you took a sell by market. Yeah, yeah. So since March, you just sell by market and you're good. I mean, this thing is going, I don't think, I mean, we may see, remember when oil went to negative $45, we may see UCAD go to negative $45. So yeah, man, I'm not, I I don't even want to look at it. I mean, like there's nothing for me to even, like, I'm not calling a bottom and it's not giving us anything. I mean, I guarantee you it's coming into this area here, but don't go with the path of least resistance, right? You want to look for sells. So if it gives you a selling opportunity, take it. I'm pretty sure it gave a distribution in here, but this was back in September. Actually, I know it gave a distribution because I tried catching the distro. It gave a daily distro right here. Um, you know, yeah, I'm not even looking at this, man. It's ridiculous. Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to see what else I have. So we did EJ. I know someone posted AJ in the chat, and AJ actually looked pretty decent. I'm bullish on AJ, right? I mean, we could see that AJ is way bullish. Um, and it actually gave a really clean schematic this afternoon. Um, I mean, on the 1 hour. So this was a nice schematic down here at the beginning of November, but there was a really nice, what was it, on the 15-minute or the 5 minute? Let me see. Yeah, there was a clean schematic right here. And you could see it on the 5 minute right here. And it looks like we're just trading back down nice and easy to maybe come into an LPSY, right? But I mean, listen, if it prints a schematic in a nice, easy area, and if you're bullish on AJ, your buying climax, secondary test in B, your spring, right? For me, this did not break structure, and I don't think it did on the line chart. I don't think it did on the line chart. Let's see. Oh man, that's close. You know what? I'll tell you right now, I would have taken this entry. I would have taken this entry if we did that. Even though it's not a break of structure, the equal highs, to me, the equal highs are the same thing as a break of structure. It gives me the intent. You could see the small little imbalance, and I guarantee you there was a clean entry on the 1 minute. Let's see. Oh yeah, for sure. Look at that. So look at that. That's where my entry would have been all day long. So you could see we're cleanly mitigated all of this. We do have imbalance right here. So whether you took it off of just the open of the imbalance or just the candle, I mean, you could have gone to like a 2-minute candle to find it. Let's see, the 2-minute candle is probably what I played. Yeah, 2-minute all day long. 2-minute candle is where I would have played right here. All right. Very clean schematic. I don't remember who did it, but whoever it did, man, next time, how about you post that in the Discord? So maybe like others can look at it, I'm just saying. But I mean, selling climax, secondary test, right? We established our trading range. Okay. Secondary test in phase B. All right. We trade up past 50%, which I need. We spring, take out all that liquidity, right? Entice sellers. We end up, for me, this is equal highs, break a structure, and then came right into this 2-minute. That sucker would have been, this bad boy would have been a 1.1 pip stop loss, right? I mean, if you wanted to run it to at least the bottom of this wick, because maybe you don't know what's going on in the wick, that's a 2 pip stop loss. All right. That was golden. At one point, I mean, this thing was, at one point this thing was 32 pips. So you're at a 14-1, that's it. Can I do a class in Portuguese? No. I mean, like I can speak to my grandparents. I can speak to my parents. When was the last time? I haven't been to Portugal since I was a little kid. So my parents go all the time, my brother and sister, but I've just been busy, Yeah, yeah, no, I can't. I mean, I can speak it, but I can't speak it enough for trading. Yeah, like I couldn't tell you how to say some of these words in Portuguese. All right. But yeah, yeah. So that was AJ. Let me, honestly, that's really all I was looking at. GCAD, I mean, there was a potential on GCAD, but that thing has since long gone. We had some clean cells in here and then some more cells in here. So, I mean, GCAD is another one. This thing is coming down. I want to see how far this thing can go. So I'm going to be looking, and you can just look at structure, right? Just follow structure. We're bearish. We are coming into this H4, right? Coming into this H4. This is ideally my point of interest. So on GCAD, right? Anywhere in this H4 candle is where I want to get on lower time frames and find a schematic to take it down. Okay. We have broken daily structure. All right. So if you look at the daily, we have taken this daily low. So I want to just keep selling this down. All right. So just keep an eye on that. Right. Just keep an eye on that. So GCAD's on my watch list. I actually do have. Let me put my alert back on because I think I took it off. But you can see if you go to the 1 hour time frame, it's already you can see the agenda that the institutions have left. We potentially have equal highs that are made right here. So I would like ideally I want to pop up, take these equal highs, trade into this 1 hour candle, which is inside the 4 hour, and look for distro. Get some distribution and we take it down. All right. If we pop up above this H4 high, we know that we've broken structure. Okay. Can you let me know if my GJ setup is valid? Which one is it? Hold on. This one here. I mean, we're bearish on the 4 hour, right? Let me see. Do I have GA on here? I haven't looked at GA in a minute. Man, hold on. Let me see what I have in GA. I haven't looked at it in a minute. Not since the great Brexit cabal. Let's see. What was I looking at? So, okay. I was looking potential accumulation in here, but we did make a low. We did make a low, but I was looking for accumulation down here. I don't know why the heck I was looking. Oh, because of this point of interest over here. Okay. All right. So yeah, I mean, I would venture to say that we're going to sell from like this 4 hour candle in here. Is that your point of interest? What is it? 18157. 18157. Wait. Uh, yeah, I don't know if I would. I mean, to me, I guess we did leave equal highs there. Yeah, I'll be honest. Like, I don't give a lot of emphasis to equal highs and equal lows unless they're my targets. Like, if I'm in a buy, I'm going to target equal highs and equal lows, just because. I mean, they don't have to come after these equal highs right now. I can tell you that I personally, what is this? This is wow, this is like a 40 pip stop loss. Yeah, I can't, for me, I can't take a 40 pip stop loss. Like, there's no way. Just think about how long you can be in this trade for a little R to R. I sent two. Let's see. You sent two. Hold on. Come on, open up, you stupid thing. Yeah, I mean, this one makes sense. This one makes sense. You have equal lows. Now, just remember that this is like manipulation, right? This was the Sunday gap open, and we kind of just bounced. So this would be a gap fill, but I'll be honest, like if I had to guess, this is just going to continue to come up until they sell down, right? Until they sell down. That's my personal opinion. Like, I'm leaning towards the pounds being bearish. GU, think about it. We're looking for GU to come down, looking for GJ to come down, GCAD to come down. I do think that the Australian dollar is being heavily manipulated right now to being bearish or being bullish. So, this may give GA a reason to come further down. All right. Yeah, yeah. let me see what else I was looking at. Hey, Victor, did that, if you're still on, bro, you still on? Hey, did that AU fall apart? Or are we still looking at distro on it? Oh, no, it's still there. It's still making its thing. Hold on. Did you leave? Where'd you go? Did he leave? No, there you are. Let me see. I don't know, man. I personally have no faith in the dollar. Like, this is starting to build some distribution, but I truly have no faith in the dollar, because for this to work, the dollar needs to strengthen. But I mean, we are in an area where we could see potential distribution. You can't unmute here. Hold on, bro. How about now? You got it?
Yeah. Okay.
Bro, what you got? What you got on AU, man?
So I like this distro, and if you go into 4-hour, hold on, I gotta pull up my chart. I have it on my.
You want to share your screen?
Hold on one sec. Let me pull it up first. I just want to make sure that I actually do have some on it.
Oh wow, bro! Look at EG come into my 4-hour. That's why my alert was.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. So if you just go into the 4-hour, you'll see the candle right above the low.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically the last point of interest. Now, the only thing is, and I think I messaged you about this, but maybe I haven't. We are inside the weekly IFC. So
no, I saw that. I saw that right here.
Oh yeah, that's right. I messaged you, and then you said that you were looking at that as well. So that potential distro inside a weekly, we're building it on it.
It's valid. Yeah, it's valid.
I see this as a sign of weakness, the high that we just got. So I'm still gonna wait for a potential up thrust.
Yeah. The way I'm looking at it right now is I see buying climax, secondary test, UT. And even though we broke out, I'm still, because I have no faith in the dollar, I want to see a UT. I want to see a UT break this structure, and then we come down.
Yeah. And then I think that if we come down now, and we're not going to respect the schematic, I think that I'm still going to be looking for continuation buys off the H4.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah,
because
I agree. Yeah. It makes sense. It makes sense. And yeah, I don't think, like, I know a lot of people are thinking this thing is going to come like down here and take out these. This isn't coming down here. We're not going any. And this is going to be a very short, short-term trade.
100%.
Yeah.
I just think there's too much accumulation that's happening along the way for us to erase all those buyers.
They've manipulated price, to come this high, and they've gathered so much interest that they're going to hold it. They're going to hold these buys for a while.
Yeah.
But that's I mean, I don't know. You got anything else on your watch list? I mean, that's pretty much it. That's all I'm looking at. I mean, nothing to. What's that?
No, I'm just thinking you covered CJ.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one thing I wanted to mention on CJ.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So if you go on CJ and you open up like a 1-hour chart, for all those people that are thinking distro or sell, if you're paying attention to the lower highs or to the higher lows that are continuously being made, like we're just continuously making higher lows as we're walking it up. As long as these higher lows are being made, I mean, it's bullish. Can't look at it any other way.
Yeah. No. The only way I'm looking at a sell is if I get a clean distro and it's only. And I'll be honest, I'm not even looking at a sell. Like
it just doesn't.
Yeah. Nothing. You couldn't pay me to take a sell on CJ right now. Ideally, I was hoping that we were going to get down in here to take this higher, but she doesn't want to play nice, man. So this is why, I'll be honest, this is why, like, holding partials long term or where it's at, because I've literally just been collecting pips going up as this is walking itself up for my positions down here, instead of closing out at like a new high or something like that, you know. And the swap fees aren't even that bad. So I'm actually making more per day just holding the position than paying the swap. So, but that's pretty much it. I mean, that's all I got. I mean, today wasn't a big day. Like there were some moves, but nothing really piqued my interest to get into it, you know. Mike, is your zero faith in the dollar based on fundamentals or technicals? It's here, I'll show you. It is based it is based on this right here. It's it is based on this right here. This right here. It's the technicals. There's nothing stopping us, you know. There's nothing. And if you look at what's going on to the left, we are coming. This was our last accumulation down here at like 89.68. There's nothing, absolutely nothing here to stop us to come down there. So, I mean, do I think we're going to get a reaction off of here? Yes. I think we're going to get a bounce, but we are days away from that bounce. I mean, just look at how long it's taken us to go the, you know, whatever it is, this amount of distance. I mean, we still got probably another couple days before we even see a bounce. So yeah, this was a nice redistribution that we thought was accumulation, and psych, the market had something else for us, you know. But yeah, I have no faith. Like this, nothing, when you look at a daily candle, nothing about this tells you start putting your money into the dollar, right? Nothing about this. Even on the 1 hour, nothing, right? Nothing about this. I know a lot of people were thinking this might be accumulation. This is not clean, you know. This is not clean. I mean, potentially, you know, okay, but I would need to see one. We still got this gap to get filled from what was it, like last week or something. You know, but I would need a major break of structure to really regain strength in this. EA is beautiful right now. Oh, of course. Of course it is. Look, oh boy. Yeah, it's only a couple pips, but I like that sign of strength. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. This may be my only trade I take this week, depending on how tonight goes. So we'll see. That is a nice sign of strength. So, yeah, man, you got anything else you want to cover, Victor? Nada. Let's see. Oh, you're muted. Bro, why are you muted, man? Hold on. There you go.
Hey, I was looking at gold just a little bit earlier, and this is something, I mean, I haven't messaged you yet about it, but this is something everybody might want to pay attention to. If you just pull up your gold chart, super simple trade.
Okay. Yeah. Hold
Just
on.
think it's high.
So,
Yeah.
hey, for this one here, I mean, that is a point of interest. Yes. I'll tell you right now, though, like I personally wouldn't put a limit order on it, just because if price does break out of this accumulation here that it did, and we do take these lows, I could see us, I mean, we might get a little bounce, but I could see us coming into this imbalance to mitigate. Because if we're coming down into that, we're going to mitigate and we'll potentially play off of this, because this is our leg, right? This is the leg. So look for something down here. That's how I would look at it. Yeah. Gold.
And about EA, I just wanted to say I spent a good prior to EA coming in, I jumped on the chat and I probably spent a good 20 minutes trying to convince people to take that trade. Not openly, but
The buy?
You know,
the buy?
the buy. Yeah, the buy.
Oh,
The buy.
no.
I was because I saw some people were were against the buy on EA, and I jumped on and I said, hey, this is why it's a good trade. I don't know if people took it or not, but
no,
yeah,
I took it. I
I
was
know
all
you
over
did.
that. I was all over it. Listen, I've been stalking that thing since November 17th. All right, yeah. What do we got on gold?
So watch this. If you go into 4 hour.
Yeah.
All right. So do you see now? Just zoom out of the chart a bit or condense it. Like, just bring it. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, perfect. So where you have marked up, like that point of interest you have marked out.
Yeah.
So that big drop candle, if you just replay back into that
Into this one here?
Yeah, no, yeah, go. Yeah, right there. No, hold on. Are we looking at the right? Hold on. Exit replay mode for a second. I just want to make sure that we're looking at the right candle. Give me a sec here.
This drop,
Okay,
right?
so that's the drop. So if you look into that candle right there, and you go into a 1 minute time frame, just go right into the 1 minute.
Uh-huh.
All right, perfect. All
You
right,
mean
cool.
you
So,
mean
so
you
what
mean
I'm,
you mean that?
that,
You mean
yeah,
that? Okay.
I hate that. But
Yeah.
it's that wick that I'm interested in, because I'll tell you why.
Mhm.
What happened is once we wicked in, we left, and quickly.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you know, and
I'm
there's
looking.
there's a nice 1 minute. Yeah, look at that. You talking about
Well, we
this?
have a distro. It's a distribution 1 minute, and we never tested out of that drop. We
Yeah.
just didn't. We
Yep.
left. Right. To me, that looks like a sell model. All the orders are sitting inside those two candles right there. Those
Yeah.
two last
Yeah,
buy
these right here.
candles before the sell-off. Yeah, those two
Yeah.
last buy candles before the sell-off happened. I would bet pretty much anything on the fact that we are going to get a reaction. I'm not 100% sure how severe that reaction is going to be to the downside, but I think we are going to get a reaction, and I would definitely be watching for distribution or a 1 minute break structure off of that one candle right there, because it's an FU candle. We built a distro, we sold off very, very quickly from that point of interest, and once we come back into it, there's a lot of orders that are sitting up there. I bet you that it's going to be a good opportunity to sell from.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, if you guys don't understand what we're talking about, so like every time there's distribution, right? So here we had distribution, right? This was ugly distribution in here, but we still had distribution, but we never came back to test out of this area here. And that's what we did. This distribution, when price was manipulated, we had a distribution model here, right? Buy and climax, secondary test, whatever, another secondary test, and then a UT. This tested into that supply point. So this now this was mitigated. You can see this area, this was mitigated out. So like we're mitigating out of all of these extreme areas where price is distributed from. So ideally this is where we're looking. We're looking for price now to return into like 1862 area, something like that. And ultimately, this is where I want to see another schematic, just like we caught here. This schematic here, I want to catch the same thing coming down. All right. And,
Exactly.
And gold, I'll tell you right now, gold has been paying the bills for whoever's been trading it, because I know guys that I've gone over gold with. I mean, we've just been selling this sucker down from all the extremes. I missed the buy. The buy was there. I missed it. I wasn't paying attention, but now where I want to see us come into is ultimately right in here. It's this, I actually got it. You know what? I do have it lined up. So I do have it lined up on this line here. So that's where I want to see us trade off into. When you catch that last major mitigation, is it incredible how quick the market moves? Yeah. I mean, like you don't want it to lollygag, right? I mean, the whole idea behind the move is, I know a great example is this. So I don't ever want to be in a trade where I get into the trade, right? And then price does this, right? I don't want to ever be in a trade where we are doing this, or, right? I never want to see this crap. Okay. To me, when I get into a trade, I want to get into a trade when the institutions get in a trade, right? That's the whole idea. That's exactly when I want to get into a trade. So bring up to exhibit A, right? This is how we know that orders came into the market, because when my order got filled, we left, we came back to mitigate whatever left in balance was there, and then we're gone, right? So now it's just a matter of if it's sustainable, right? If they can keep adding orders to take this market higher, because ultimately, sellers were in control. I mean, sellers have been in control of EA since this shenanigans all the way up here. Okay. So, now it's just a matter of if they can get the orders to continue going up. All right. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I have. I mean, it's like I said, the week really hasn't shown me a lot to really get, I mean, I have a decent watch list. I have a lot of a lot of stuff on my, in my areas that I want to look at. But I'm just going to let the market do its thing. It's going to come to wherever it wants to come to. For those that trade Bitcoin, I'll tell you right now, I have nothing on Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I think, is drunk right now. Oh, wow. It came into my flipping spot. Look at this, bro. I had this marked up. It came into my freaking candle. Yeah. Anyway, Bitcoin's drunk. Like, it doesn't know what it wants to do. Like, I sold it down here off distro. I don't know what it wants to do. So I'm just
You
going to
get that. You get that break of structure to the downside there, and you have a distro on your hands for sure.
No, yes, absolutely. Yeah, you could see I got my alert. I got my alert.
No, right here, higher.
Oh, Are you yeah, right here.
Right there,
Yeah. We got the three drives.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got the three drives, and there's a willingness to go down, but to me, it doesn't want to act right now. Actually, I think the 1 hour is the cleanest. Hold on. Yeah, 1 hour is the cleanest for me.
Yeah.
But I need it to here. Hold on. I need it to break below that.
Because that UT came very nicely to test the range. So
Yep.
UTAD, and it's a nice looking UTAD too. So you get that break, or maybe something on the lower time frame, you might be able to catch a test on that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, this here was just ugly.
Yeah,
this has been the last 2 days. This is the last 2 days. So I didn't even watch it today. I didn't know what the heck it was doing, but whatever. It's Bitcoin, man. We'll do its thing. But that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, if you guys have any last minute questions, I'll try to answer them. But when you catch the, let's see. Thanks a lot. Awesome, man. Thank you. Yeah, bro. Absolutely. I like the way you trade. Thank you for answering all the questions. Yeah. Awesome, man. Got it, bro. Yeah, Julio, man. TP for EA, the moon, right? The moon, bro. No, it's the top of that range. Just look at the H4. For me, it's the top of the range. Awesome. Perfect. All right. Awesome, guys. Listen, I'm gonna go and relax, watch some. No, I'll be honest. I don't think you'll see me as a Go Live educator. I'll jump on as a guest, but yeah, I'm not. I'm good. So, all right, awesome. You guys enjoy, and I will catch everyone later. If there's nothing else, man. I'll wait a couple seconds, but other than that, I'm gonna call it a night. Awesome. All right. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one, man. Later, Victor. I'll talk to you later, bro. All right.